Hey guys, so today I have a review on the Overpowered OP-LP2 gaming laptop from Walmart. It's a 15-inch gaming laptop, and I actually have the official site pulled up here that has everything that's included in this laptop. So it has an Intel i7-8750H processor, NVIDIA GTX 1060 6GB, a fully mechanical keyboard that I believe are cherry brown or cherry blue switches, and a 256 gig SSD, a 1TB hard drive, and 16 gigs of RAM. And I used this laptop for about a year as my daily driver before I upgraded. And this laptop, for the price, I paid a little under $700 for it for a refurbished unit, but I do not have any regrets. It has performed very well, and I just wanted to provide my thoughts and opinions on this laptop over the period that I had used it. So overall, things that I liked about it: the 144 hertz screen with the 300 brightness was great. For it being paired with the 1060 at such a low price point was amazing, because once you make that jump to 144 hertz and above, it's hard to go back to a 60 hertz screen. Like I mentioned, the Tongfeng chassis that it uses here is super durable. It's like a brushed aluminum, so very just feels very good in your hand in terms of something that feels like it could, it won't, even if you were to abuse it a little bit, it would be able to handle it. It just overall just very solid feel. And the Tongfeng chassis is also known for the being able to dissipate heat pretty well, so that's also a pro there. The keyboard is nice. Like I said, the fully mechanical keyboard with, I believe, cherry blue or cherry brown switches. It has RGB lighting, and I'll be going over that a little bit here. And just the overall specs, the i7 paired with the 1060 is great. I was able to run most AAA games at 60 FPS or above, just depending. But overall, just the i7 with the 1060 was good. There were some things that I did have issues with the amount of heat that say the GPU would put out a lot of heat, or the CPU vice versa. It would get a little warm at times, but we'll cover that a little bit here in a little later in the video. Upgradability, so you can fit up to 2 SSDs and then even have space for 1 extra hard drive. That's great, especially with sometimes some manufacturers have to cut corners to where you can only put 1 SSD and only 1 hard drive, but this one has space for 2 SSDs and 1 hard drive, which is great. So because nowadays games are starting to get upwards towards the 60, 70, 80 gigs of storage, and you want to have as much space there as possible. In terms of dislikes, here I'll show here. Dislikes: sharp corners. These corners here are very sharp. I was not a big fan of that. It just having it whenever you're using it, having your arms rested across here, or if you're doing something like this, it eventually starts digging into your skin, and that I was not a big fan of that. And I know that the HP Omen laptop also had some issues with sharp corners there, but it's a little bit of a trade-off, especially with having the very solid build on it, the aluminum. Let's see, I did have an issue. Like I said, I purchased this as a refurbished unit. This power button was a little glitchy at times. I'll do a little close up here. This power button here, whenever the charger was not plugged in, I had to press this multiple times to get the laptop to turn on, which wasn't too big of a deal, but just something that I noticed. Webcam, of course, it's located up here at the top. Like a webcam on a gaming laptop, it's just there. It's not the best quality, but it's there. Speaking of the webcam and just kind of subpar components, the speakers are not that great. They're gaming laptop speakers, so they're just there. but not really the best. And on top of that, it's a good transition point to the battery life. As you can see down here, I don't have it plugged in. I took about 30 minutes to install drivers and stuff. This is a fresh install Windows, and I'm already down to 44%. So, you know, battery life's not going to be the best on a gaming laptop, but they are starting to improve that now with some manufacturers coming out with 80 watt hour batteries now, and it's improving as time goes on. Two other my dislikes, two of the biggest ones were lack of support, really. Overpowered is not a very known brand since it's a Walmart brand. You kind of have to get their drivers. You kind of have to scour the internet and find forums for their drivers, and just kind of hope you come across the gaming center, this is their kind of central hub for being able to change any of the effects and lighting and fan settings and stuff with the laptop. Overpowered's website has very not very optimized, I guess. Doesn't have a lot of information on it, just the basic drivers you need. But if you wanted to go in depth and maybe update the BIOS to a certain version, you have to do a little bit more digging for that. And the last one was the thermals. With this being an i7 pushing out a ton of heat, I had to undervolt the CPU by a good bit in order for me to hit respectable temperatures I was comfortable with, because those temperatures obviously lead into the durability of the laptop, and I had to undervolt a good bit as well as undervolt the GPU, and elevate the laptop and do all of that just to get it to run at decent temperatures I was fine with. And then talking about software, let's go ahead and talk about the gaming center. So the gaming center here lets you, it's kind of like Overpowered central hub that lets you adjust a lot of things. So you can go through here and turn the LED light bar on or off. So I'll show you right there. You can toggle that to turn that on or off, and then a bunch of other settings here. So power source for displays, you know, any of your let's see, discrete GPU, if you want to toggle that on or off. You can actually change the RGB lighting. So as you can see, there's the RGB lighting on the keyboard, and that's the rainbow. There's a lot of presets here, breathing. You can even set the colors. There's spark, a whole lot of colors. You can change the brightness, the speed, and the fan settings, gaming mode, office mode, and then also a system monitor for everything that's kind of going on with your resources, memory, GPU, processor, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's my overall review of the laptop. I just want to give my overall thoughts and opinions on it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I plan on passing this laptop on to someone else, and but I still spend a lot of time with it to know the ins and outs of where to go and get certain drivers or programs or stuff like that, or even if it comes down to undervolting and overclocking things. But feel free to reach out, post a comment or send me a message, and I'll be happy to answer anything. Thank you.